Hello, Lakers Nation. My name is Trevor Lane, senior writer for LakersNation.com, and this is the Lakers Nation news feed. What are we talking about today? We're talking about Anthony Davis. I know it seems like all we've been talking about lately, but the rumors are flying regarding Anthony Davis as the NBA trade deadline is quickly approaching. It's coming up next Thursday, February 7th. We know Davis has asked for a trade from the New Orleans Pelicans. There have been all kinds of different rumors and subplots going around right now, and I broke a lot of them down on our last news feed, but some new information just came out, so I thought it's important that we go over some of it. Now, before I dig into all that, quick shout out to our sponsor, Robinhood. Guys, head over to lakers.robinhood.com. You get free stock. Robinhood is a very, very useful app for your phone. Lets you buy and sell stock right there from your mobile device. I literally use it every single day. If you use lakers.robinhood.com, go there. You will actually get free stock for signing up with Robinhood. I'm not kidding. You get free stock. Lakers.robinhood.com. Go check it out. Okay, so the latest, and if you've fallen behind in the Anthony Davis story here, I would highly recommend you go back to our last news feed episode, the last one that I did. If you're on iTunes, just look at the last episode. If you're checking out on YouTube, it's on the Lakers Nation YouTube channel there. If you're subscribed to this show, which would be excellent, just go to that last one that we did, because there I go for almost a half an hour and I break down everything going on with the Anthony Davis trade situation. But the latest news that just came out, and this is from Tanya Ganguly and Brad Turner of the LA Times, who have been doing a phenomenal job publishing this story, suggests that the Pelicans are getting ready to actually submit a counter offer to the Lakers. And this is from their story right here. Okay, so the Lakers and New Orleans Pelicans have yet to discuss the offers the Lakers made for six-time All-Star forward Anthony Davis, but that conversation is expected to take place next week. The Pelicans are considering a counteroffer that would ask for 2 first-round picks and add a Pelicans player to the deal, according to people with knowledge of the situation who requested anonymity because they weren't authorized to speak publicly on the matter. Okay, now, Brad Turner is the guy who reported that the Lakers actually sent 5 different offers to the Pelicans, 5 of them, and that one of those offers included Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Ivica Zubac, and a first-round pick. Now, I know that sounds like a lot on the surface, but you have to remember this is, for one thing, it's Anthony Davis, who is an MVP caliber player. You're going to have to give up a lot in order to get him, and it doesn't mention what would be coming back to the Lakers in that scenario, if it was just Anthony Davis or if there were other pieces thrown in. Now, the Pelicans considering a counter offer that would involve 2 first-round picks coming to the Lakers, as well as a Pelicans player. Why is that significant? Okay, well, first of all, the fact that the Pelicans are even considering a counteroffer is significant. As I said on yesterday's news feed, Adrian Wojnarowski and Shams Charania were reporting that the Pelicans were underwhelmed with the Lakers offer, that they weren't pleased with it, that they didn't see it as even anything worth countering. And all of these were kind of a shot taken at the Lakers and the offer that they reportedly made. The offer that Woj and Shams reported was way, way different than what Brad Turner mentioned. Instead of having all of those players, Ball, Kuzma, Ingram, Zubac, it was just Ball and Kuzma, plus Rondo for salary purposes, Michael Beasley, and maybe a pick. So obviously a very different offer, not nearly the value of the deal that Brad Turner is suggesting. So the Pelicans are considering a counteroffer. We don't know if they're countering one of the 5 offers that Brad Turner's talking about, or if it's countering the deal Woj is talking about, or maybe the deal Woj is talking about is one of the 5. A lot to try to read into here between the lines. But the fact that they're talking about countering, that in and of itself is big. Because, again, there was some thought that maybe the Pelicans would just tell the Lakers, no, flat out, no, we are not giving you Anthony Davis because that's what Anthony Davis wants. We're mad at him. We don't like the Lakers. We're worried about them tampering. We feel like they were tampering with Anthony Davis earlier in the year when a reporter asked LeBron about playing with him, and he said, yes, I would like that. All of these things, team petty, and we're not going to trade with the Lakers. Okay, that was a real concern that may happen. Obviously, if they are considering offering a counter offer to the Lakers, that is not the case. And maybe this is because the offers of other teams have indeed decreased. Anthony Davis is doing everything he can right now to become a Los Angeles Laker, telling other teams, I will not stay. I will be a rental. I am leaving in 2020. I am signing with the Lakers. Maybe that isn't true, right? Maybe he doesn't even really believe that, but he's telling other teams that so that they will lower their offers, because who's going to give up a ton for a guy that's going to leave in a year? So that's the game plan here. Anthony Davis is doing all that he can to get to the Lakers, and perhaps that is making an impact. Perhaps that is causing the Pelicans to be a little bit more open. Of course, it could also be just a show on the part of the Pelicans, which is really what they should be doing. Them pretending to not really be that interested in the Lakers offer because, well, they want the Lakers offer to be as strong as it possibly can be. They want to get as many assets as they can in exchange for their star, Anthony Davis. They need to if they're going to rebuild. So they don't want to sound excited about the Lakers offer. They want the Lakers to continue upping their offer. All of that could be at play here. Bottom line, though, the fact that they are considering countering is a good thing. Okay, means that there will be a discussion, a negotiation going back and forth, and perhaps, maybe, there'll be some sort of an agreement made. Now, I wouldn't count on it, right? NBA trade discussions happen all the time. There are tons of deals, way more deals get discussed than actually get done. Not even close. Okay, so just because they're discussing a deal doesn't mean it's going to happen. Right, so we can't get excited yet, but it is at least a positive step that they are considering a counteroffer. Now, this counteroffer, multiple first-round picks, is that a big deal? I'd say no. Okay, if you're putting LeBron James and Anthony Davis together on a team, you are looking to win championships, period. You're hoping to be one of the best teams in the Western Conference. You're not talking about giving up lottery picks here. Yes, things happen. Injuries happen. Things like that. Chemistry issues occur, right? Things go south. The Lakers had Dwight Howard, Pau Gasol, Steve Nash, and Kobe Bryant and almost missed the playoffs, right? Things happen. Stuff goes wrong, okay? So first-round picks, even for a team that's going to potentially be a contender, aren't nothing. They matter. But if you think that most likely your team is going to be one of the better teams in the NBA, those picks aren't worth all that much. They're certainly not worth arguing over or fighting over if it's going to cost you a deal for Anthony Davis. Okay, he's that good of a player. I don't think the picks are a big deal there. Okay, what is a big deal is the player. The Pelicans adding a player. Is that a player that's on perhaps an expiring contract? Is that a player that's on a contract that extends? Is it a player that's on a bad contract? Because there's a big, big difference there. The Los Angeles Lakers want to be players in next summer's free agent class. Even if they add Anthony Davis, if they gut their roster, aside from LeBron and Davis, they would have LeBron's salary, they would have Davis's salary, they would have the $5 million or so, not quite $5 million, almost $5 million, that they would still owe Luol Deng because of that buyout situation. And when you add all those together, they get really close, not quite there, but really close to being able to still make a max offer to a third player if they get rid of everyone else. I'm talking Lonzo, Kuzma, Ingram, Svi, Isaac Bonga, Mo Wagner, all of those guys. Gone. Okay? I know, that's scary to think about, all of those players just being gone, but it would free up all their cap space. Okay? And they could potentially go after a third star. I'm talking about a guy like Kyrie Irving. I'm talking about Klay Thompson, Jimmy Butler, Kawhi Leonard. You could potentially still go after those guys. All right? So that possibility, that's got to be intriguing. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and one of those guys. And again, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself here. The Lakers don't even have Davis yet. I'm just saying it's possible. If the Lakers can make a move for Anthony Davis, there is a path to potentially going after that third star. So that's why it's such a big deal who that piece is that the Pelicans are sending back. If it's Nikola Mirotic, who's on an expiring contract, and again, that's not going to be easy because he makes $12.5 million. He's just a guy who's on an expiring deal. It's not a big deal for the Lakers. He'd be a nice player. He'd fit in really well with his outside shooting, right? He would, and his salary expires. So you'd still have your cap space free to play with next summer. That would not be a problem at all. If it meant throwing in another first-round pick, that second first-round pick, if that is to compensate the Pelicans for throwing in Mirotic, we know that the Pelicans have been searching for a new home for Mirotic, for Julius Randle, for E'Twaun Moore. They've been looking for draft assets in exchange for those. That the Pelicans say, hey, in order to get the deal done, we need a first for Mirotic attached to the deal that we're making here for Anthony Davis, or even in a separate deal, right? We need some way to make that happen. If that's the case, if that's the move, I mean, I don't think that'll be an issue for the Lakers. Mirotic himself is probably worth a first. He's a really good shooter, okay? And on top of that, you'd be keeping your cap space clear. And he's not the only guy. There's other guys here. Wesley Johnson, Alfred Payton, Darius Miller. They have a number of guys who are on expiring deals. Where it might get dicey, though, is if instead of a guy on an expiring contract, they're asking, and this is the name that everybody should be worried about, they're asking the Lakers to take on Solomon Hill, okay? Or to a lesser extent, Etuan Moore. And here's why those are problems. Solomon Hill is making $12.2 million this season. He's making $13.2 million next season. Now, he's a small forward. He signed an oversized contract a few summers ago and got paid way more than he should have. And now he's just a bad contract. He's only playing 21 minutes a game for the Pelicans right now, and the Pelicans are starving for talent. He's only averaging 4 points per game. He is a massive negative contract right now. If that's the piece that the Pelicans are trying to add in addition to another first-round pick, that's going to be a problem for the Lakers. That's a big, big problem because, yes, you're getting Anthony Davis, but you're basically sacrificing your ability to go out and get just about anybody else next summer. Okay? If it's Solomon Hill, ouch. That could be a problem. Etuan Moore is guaranteed $8.6 million next season. Now, Etuan Moore, not a terrible player. He's not as much of a negative as Solomon Hill is. He's putting up 12.3 points per game right now. He can rebound a little bit. The biggest thing is he can shoot threes. 42% from three this season. That's a skill the Lakers actually need. Do they want to spend $8.6 million on that skill? Probably not. But again, he's a real player that you could put out there that could do some good things for your team. All right, but the $8.6 million, again, still that hurts their cap space moving forward. So that could be a problem if you're asking the Lakers to absorb salary and add another pick. But again, maybe this is all just a step in the bargaining process. So we'll see. If it's, and here this is actually a possibility, Julius Randle. The Pelicans are rumored to be shopping him, looking for a future draft asset. Now, some problems there. Maybe there's a little bit of bad blood after what happened with Julius Randle and the Lakers this last season. And Randle has a player option. That's why he left the Lakers, was because he was demanding that player option, and the Lakers didn't want to give it to him because they want their cap space clear. He is certainly worth the $8.6 million that he's making this season, and certainly worth the $9 million he would make next season if he picks up his player option. Very unlikely he picks up that player option. But let's say the Lakers trade and they get Julius Randle, and then towards the end of the season, Julius Randle gets injured, right? And he's hurt, and so he doesn't want to become a free agent because he just suffered an injury. He's going to pick up that player option and would kill the Lakers' cap space. So that could be a problem for the Lakers as well, would be the cap space moving forward if they were to accept a player like Julius Randle who has that player option. So, again, a lot to unpack there with Tanya Ganguly and Brad Turner with their piece mentioning that the Pelicans are preparing this counteroffer. The devil is in the details in this. Who that player is that the Pelicans want the Lakers to take, in addition to adding those other pieces, is going to be the difference maker here, right? If it's a expiring contract, if it's a Nikola Mirotic, if it's a Wesley Johnson, an Alfred Payton, players like that, if those are the players, these guys on expiring deals that they're looking to throw in, it should not be much of a problem at all, right? That shouldn't be a big issue for the Lakers. If, as I would expect it would be, because the Pelicans are going to try to get everything they possibly can, if it's Solomon Hill, if it's Etuan Moore, that's going to be a problem. Solomon Hill being the bigger problem because he's the bigger salary and the lesser player. But Etuan Moore would also be an issue because he has salary moving forward. Okay, that's where we're at right now. Again, exciting that the Pelicans are considering a counteroffer. Interesting, certainly something to keep an eye on. But I really want to find out these details about exactly who that player is that they want to add into this deal, because that will make all of the difference for the Lakers and their plans moving forward in the future. And maybe you can make the argument, hey, even if it is Solomon Hill, you do the deal, you get Anthony Davis in purple and gold. Maybe you give up a little bit less. You say, hey, if we're going to take on Solomon Hill, then we're not going to give you all of our young guys. We're going to hang on to Kyle Kuzma. We're going to hang on to whoever. That's possible. There will be a negotiation here. They're going to go back and forth. But Interesting that the Pelicans want the Lakers to take on a player and provide more picks. We'll see where it all goes from here. All right, guys, so that's where we're at in the whole Anthony Davis trade situation right now. Obviously, it's a situation that's changing very quickly. Things usually don't happen during the Super Bowl, so maybe we'll have a quiet Sunday. Of course, now that I said that, that probably means something's going to happen. But usually we have a quiet Super Bowl with NBA news. And then next week, starting Monday, all the way through Thursday, I'm expecting this to pick up and even more information to be coming out. All right, guys, make sure you keep it tuned to LakersNation.com for all the latest breaking Lakers news. If you are listening to this on the Lakers Nation YouTube channel, give me your comments, give me your thoughts. Should the Lakers be willing to absorb some salary in the Anthony Davis deal? Do you throw in extra picks in order to stop from absorbing salary? Should cap space be their ultimate goal, even if they are getting Anthony Davis? What are your thoughts on the whole situation? Again, same thing. If you're on LakersNation.com, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section. Of course, if you're on Facebook as well, guys, let us know. Get at us. Let us know what you guys think about Anthony Davis becoming a Laker and what the Lakers should be willing to do in order to bring him here. My name's Trevor Lane. You can follow me on Twitter at Trevor_Lane and find me on Instagram at TrevorLaneNBA. Till next time, see ya.